I walk the streets with my swagger on, supernatural, facing a million opponents, and my role is to act alone. Lights, camera when the action's on. Where I roam is a battle zone, a vigilante in the catacombs. But I rock with a hot shot like a clock when it's cocked and popped and the lead is gone. People say that my head is gone, but it's them same people with need of my help when I'm heading home in life. They say that everybody got a purpose, so I roam the city streets like faulty cellular service. The hot shot, sharpshooter, superhero, destined to shine like light through the dark and evil. I fight for what's right in the hearts of people and try to open y'all eyes, cause it's hard to see truth. You ever feel like everybody's the same but you different? That's when you know you're here to make a difference. Hot shot, you got a choice to make, stand up or stand down. Fight or flight, get up, bang out, the world's wait, can't wait to see what you about. It's showtime, act now. Hot shot, you got a choice to make, stand up or stand down. Fight or flight, get up and bang out, the world's wait, can't wait to see what you about. It's showtime, act now. Hot shot.
Gravita. When you need me, all you gotta do is holler. Not for real, I'ma hear you when you holler. I'll be right there in my cape, FSK below my collar. Oh, trouble, want some trouble? Well then I'm double, let's get it poppin'. I got some issues I've been dealing with, about to lose my scholarships. Friends, family, loved ones, so you know inside I'm
What's up, everyone? How you doing? I am Mike Watson, aka Most Epic, and I'm your host today and every day on the show that I like to call Chat and Draw. Hold on. Most Epic! There it goes. I was a little late on that cue, a little rusty. I just came back from comic book convention this weekend, so trying to get adjusted back to that life and getting back on the road, it's been a little bumpy, a little turbulent. My convention endurance is down from what it used to be from almost 2 years ago. I went to Gym City Comic Con. What up, William? What up, Daniel? How you doing? Went to Gym City Comic Con, which is a great show here in Ohio, in Dayton, Ohio. With Danny Cooper, editor-in-chief of Freestyle Comics. Tony Clapper joined us out there, baby. Hung out with us for about a day and a half at the table and stuff, working it with us. Also went out there with Victor Dandridge and my long-lost brother who ran away from us to go live back in VA, Ren McKenzie. So we were deep with the tables. All right, we were pretty deep. What was awesome is that we saw tons of people. Actually, lots of people came down to see us. That was part of our con family. People that work with FSK, that were happy for us to be back at shows. Fans of FSK coming back down there and just like literally walking up to the table and just saying, "What don't I have? What have you come out with new since 2 years ago?" And just people just giving us props and saying how much they love what we're doing and they're excited for us. They're happy for the success we're having. What up, Amani? And I'll tell you what, that was a good feeling. That was super, super, super good. Danny said, "You can tell what y'all been talking about. We good." Oh, you want to know about the little post? The little teaser post I put up where I was talking to Seth DeMoose, where I was talking to Tony Clapper, Morgan Iverson, Danny J. Quick, and Fish Lee. Is that the post you're talking about? I put up this poster today with screenshots from the comic book meetings I've had over the last couple of days, with some significant heavyweights in the game. And you know what, Amani, you're right. I can tell you, and I will. First off, Seth DeMoose, who's done work on Tales of Mystery, Floppy Cop. Lots of work out there. Great work. I love his stuff. He's done stuff with Vantage Announce Productions as well. Just to name a few. Seth DeMoose is taking over the artwork for Emerald Quest, our book. He actually is going to be starting. He's actually going to be starting on issue 2. And I know I've told you guys we've had issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3 done. There's some things that we kind of want to, we have some time that we want to go back and reevaluate with issue 2. And we're going to have him start on issue 2, and then he'll jump right over to issue 4. It will not delay the issue 1 Kickstarter. For Emerald Quest, that's still on track, though, because we're just doing the first issue. So very, very excited about that. He's already started turning in some character concepts. And then he's got the script, and we're ready for him to go. Next up, who else do I have? Tony Clapper. We had a very in-depth meeting with Tony Clapper and discussing the thing that that's been heavy on our minds of how to incorporate Tony Clapper's 5-star characters into the Hotshot verse. We didn't just want him to be a verse in Freestyle Comics. We wanted him in the Hotshot verse. And we had a very, very awesome meeting about integrating his characters with our characters and how to make our worlds mix and blend. And I think we came up with some significantly amazing stuff. Next up on this list is Morgan Iverson, creator, writer for Lumberjacks. In case you did not know, we have Lumberjacks on the table to join the FSK verse. Not the Fourth Wall Productions version of them, but the FSK variant of Lumberjacks will be featured in our book Emerald Quest. Morgan and I exactly, Brad, I knew you'd like it. Morgan and I sat down on a call and pretty much worked out his character's entire origin story and backstory, and his motivation for participating in the quest for emeralds. Needless to say, we're very pumped about it. We think it's very appropriate for a Lumberjacks character. My meeting with Danny J. Quick was along the same lines. We're doing an FSK variant of his character, Ace Blade. I've already designed Lumberjacks. I've already designed Ace Blade. They've both been approved by Morgan and Danny J. Quick. Probably the only twist we're going to do is we're going to call Ace Blade the Ace of Blades in Emerald Quest. Working out what he is and what his impact will be to the story of Emerald Quest, which again, I know I sound like a broken train, but like I'm beating the dead horse, but we're excited about that as well. That's going to be super, super awesome. Let's see here. Then who else do we have in the pictures? Fish Lee. Yeah. I can't tell you guys what we talked to Fish Lee about. We talked to Fish Lee about a couple things. Fish Lee is going to be doing some artwork for one of our titles for sure. And we talked to Fish Lee about a couple other things as well. So I cannot reveal that. But I think I've been a really good person in revealing a lot of stuff that was discussed. All right, you know, I think that weighs him out. J-Man, you did get a couple of the Easter eggs on the post. There was one other Easter egg that I was 100% sure nobody was going to get because you can only make it out. You would have to be super, super good to have figured out that Easter egg. But when I revealed the Easter egg, I will point it out that it was revealed on that day, on that post. If you were at Gym City Comic Con, you got a good look at it. Andy knows what I'm talking about. Tony knows what I'm talking about. Hey, at the end of the day, we're here making comics, man. We're here making comics and we're having a damn good time doing it or whatnot. But this is episode 161 of a little show I like to call Chat and Draw. I'm me, Most Epic, the most enthusiastic person in comics, being your host. I'm the publisher of Freestyle Comics, a part of the crew of the Agents of the Nerdy. And, you know, I do a number of other things. Drawing digitally while chatting is one of those things. Did some of that at Gym City, had an awesome time. Can't wait to get back there. Looks like we're going bigger next year. We're going to get a booth next year from Gym City, but we're here. And I guess my guest is trying to get in via the cell phone, so sometimes that does create a problem. So hopefully he'll be able to join us very soon and get this in here with us. But we'll be drawing this character. I'm brand new to this character. This character looks amazing. So we will be drawing him up here. I already got a layout here sketched out and started. Let me see here. We are showing that is public for everyone. Awesome. And in case you did not know, we are streaming live across my YouTube channel, all of my Facebook pages that are connected for Freestyle Comics, Chat and Draw, my personal Facebook page, my Twitch channel, and Twitter, all at the same damn time. All right. Let's change these graphics up. Let's get into transition. Excuse me. Get rid of that. Bring that up. Bring it up. Ta-da! Ta-da! Maybe we'll do this. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. In case you did not know, if I was doing this traditionally, I'd be drawing on Vantage in-house. You create comics, comic paper. All right. But even though I'm not drawing traditionally, I'm drawing digitally, I still draw on this paper digitally. I'm a big fan of You Create Comics line of comic book creator tools, and you should check them out at youcreatecomics.com. They are great. Also, I want to shout out my other sponsor, the awesome Moana Nui podcast show. Please be sure to check that show out. It is fantastic. I was just on there with them last week, and I got to hang out with a Power Ranger and draw them live. And that was pretty damn awesome. And I believe I'm going to be drawing some other cool people on her show. But that show was for the culture for real. You guys definitely need to check it out. They have great conversations, great guests, and those two women are dynamic. So please stop over at the MoanaNuiPodcast.com. They're on Facebook and everything to see how they are doing and check out their show. And I want to do a plug for my man. I got a couple people I want to plug real quick before we deep dive into this. I'm dropping it in there. Daniel Calvin. Daniel Calvin. All right? Dan Calvin is at $4,890. His goal is $5,500. He's got 7 days to go to make American Dreams 1 through 5 happen. It's for the 5th issue of American Dreams. They are a little over $600 over from their goal. Under from getting their goal. So let's help them get to that. Just click that link and check them out. Danny J. Quick has also got a Kickstarter going. I believe he's got about 6 or 8 days. I can't remember who started this first, Danny or Danny. Danny or Danny, that's funny. But also go check out Danny J. Quick's Kickstarter, Ace Blade, Villain Season, baby. I've got a couple designs on there, a couple covers we've done for Villain Season. So please go check it out. Throw your support. He's almost at $10,000. He's already at his goal. He's almost at $10,000. Let's get that man up to 10K. Let's get him up to 10K, y'all. This is something that we can do. I would love to see Danny J. Quick flip the hell out for reaching $10,000 on his freaking Kickstarter. That man wouldn't know what to do with himself. He'd be just lost in the excitement, lost in the fun. He'd probably make so many Kickstarter videos, TikTok videos, that it would be ridiculous. Andy's tablecloth was the Ace Blade Purple. Good job, J-Man. I actually wasn't talking about that one. The Easter egg is on my table. And it's something that we're going to be doing in issue 15 of Hot Shot. And it's pretty big what we're doing there. I can't believe I put that out there for y'all. There's a link to Danny J. Quick's Kickstarter, so be sure to go check that out. They're at $9,137, 233 backers with 8 days to go on this Kickstarter. Let's get my man up to 10K, y'all. It's villain season. Let's help celebrate. All right, my guest is here, so let's get him up here so we can find out about this awesome character that I'm drawing, man. This dude just looks dope, and I'm very excited to be getting my hands on this character. So here we go.
Here comes a new challenger.
Chill. I think it's time for me to save the day.
What's up, Walter? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
There we go. Good. Let me get you over here and get the art down there. All right, Walter, man, it's good to hear from you, man. Looks like you got this through the Moana Nui podcast, a show sponsor for Chat and Draw. But it looks like our mutual friend, Brad Arney, spotted you the slot so you can come on here onto the show.
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish your sentence.
I'm excited to be on tonight's show. Thank you, Brad, for spotting me and getting me on. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, Brad is an awesome individual, man. He's a big supporter of indie comics. I was very happy to see him this weekend at Gem City Comic Con. Yeah, I believe that's the first time we have met in person since the whole COVID situation. So tell us about this character, man. Who is he?
Yeah. So my character is called the Watcher. He's a character that I've had in development for right at 10 years. His story is it's about a pastor that fights sex trafficking by night, and he's got powers that are similar. I'd say that they're like a mix between Daredevil and Iron Fist. And
okay,
I've been working on him for a period of about 10 years, just ironing out the character. When I first started with the character, I thought he was going to be a speedster. And then at one point, I thought his powers were going to be electricity-based, kind of like Black Lightning. And I realized that, I didn't want those things. And so I started kind of, refining him. And for a while, I had him, he was going to be a vigilante. And then I was like, well, I don't really want to do that either. And so I was like, I knew that I wanted something that was going to be poignant and relevant to what's going on in the world today. But I wanted something that was also kind of grounded as well. And so after 10 years of just writing character, rewriting the character, taking out stuff I liked, putting in stuff I didn't like, I arrived at The Watcher, and we've published issue 0 and issue 1, and issue 2 is on its way in about a month or two. And so it's been a roller coaster ride, but it's been fun.
Awesome. So you're saying the development of this character was over 10 years?
Yeah, over 10 years. Believe it or not, my character, he at one point I thought he was going to be a white guy, and I think the thing is I was writing the character with somebody else, and the co-writer that I was writing him with had his own ideas of what the character should be and look like, and his backstory and everything. And I realized that he and I had different visions of what the character should be and what he should do and what his story should be. And so I separated from him and I started I kept with the character, but I refined him and I just really made the character a part of me. And essentially, in a lot of ways, I feel like the character is based off me. It's almost autobiographical in a sense, because I feel like this character is like he's living and breathing, even though he's fictional. And it took me years. Like I said, it just I had some other input, and I didn't really want him to be like a clone of anybody else. I really wanted an original character with an original backstory, and I wanted something grounded and gritty. And so after 10 years, I finally got to watch her.
Okay. So how did the transition go between you and that original partner of yours? Did you inform him that you were still going to move on with it? I mean, did you guys separate ways?
Yeah.
How did that breakup work?
It actually went surprisingly well. At the time, his wife was pregnant. He just wanted to go in a different direction with his life. He was, I think he had a lot of stuff going on in addition to his wife being pregnant. And I talked to him about the character, and I said, I want to keep elements and aspects of the character, but I want to make him completely. So I want to keep the name, because we both came up with the Watcher. I said, I want to keep the name. I want this to be an ongoing comic book series, but I want to change things. I don't want him to be named Brian, and I don't want him, with red hair, and because he was wanting someone similar to like a Carnage, like this crazy ex-convict that basically gets these superpowers and becomes like a vigilante. And I like Carnage, but that wasn't the vision that I saw. And so I said, I want to keep the character's name, but this is essentially going to be an original character, a brand new character. The only similarities is that name. And he agreed that was okay. I kept working on it. The character's name is copywritten, and it just worked out. I mean, he and I were still friends, but we just had different visions for what we wanted from the character.
All right, cool. That's good that you were able to, you guys come to a peaceful accord about that, and everyone was able to still move on and do what they want to do.
Yeah, I know. Like with comics, it can get really ugly. There's countless tales of characters being created and people, like lawsuits and all sorts of crazy stuff. So it was a blessing that everything did work out.
Has he seen your revisions on this character, and has he got any feedback for you on it?
He has, and he actually loved my vision, because, like I said, the guy that we had at the time, we had not even hired an artist or talked to any artists. All we had was just a written description of what we felt the character looked like and should look like. And I had done some sketches, like some penciled sketches, and then he had done some little doodles as well, because he kind of dabbled with drawing as well. And it was, there's really no similarities in terms of like the character's looks, and so he liked it, and the character's actually the Watcher has had a couple different artists, like Kanan White has worked on him, Sean Damian Hill, Ryan Best, and the character that's out now, that's published, is he's been met with really good reviews, really good praises. So just happy about it.
Awesome. So do you have a Kickstarter going for this character or not?
I don't have one yet. I'm going to be starting one. Issue 0 and issue 1 is already printed, and is already available for purchase. Issue 2 is getting ready to come out in about a month or so, and so we're doing a Kickstarter for issue 3, and that will start in October. The first part of October, we're launching that.
Okay.
So I'm really, really excited about that.
So go into explain what this character's powers are.
Okay. So he's a pastor who fights human trafficking by night. His powers are spiritual based, as opposed to like magical. So like with the Iron Fist, he gets his powers from Chi, which is life force. He had to get it from Xiao Lao, the dragon. The Watcher's powers are spiritual, so they're similar. He has enhanced strength, enhanced speed, accelerated healing. He has like premonition. So if he's in a fight or like a battle, he's able to almost predict, visually see, like he can predict a person, like what moves they're going to make. He also has command of warrior angels, and what that does is it allows him to basically do extra feats that he wouldn't be able to do just normally speaking. So like his backup, so to speak. And then the final thing that he has is like he can heal others. And so all of his powers come from God. And he's also has body armor. He has twin handguns. But the handguns are non-lethal. They are, they're kind of like, there was a show in the 90s called Mantis.
Yeah, I know that.
They're kind of like Mantis's stingers. These guns, they shoot, but they're non-lethal. They fire like salt rock, which encases the person. And so it stops the person in their tracks until the police arrive. And so his guns are non-lethal. He also has these things called jawbone gauntlets, and those are so that he can like melee and like just like they're retractable, so they come out kind of like Wolverine's claws, and then he can basically handle them, and he can club or beat somebody, or he can fend off, like if somebody had like a sword or a striking weapon, like anything, he could basically use those gauntlets to block, or use the jawbones to fight back. So he's got some weaponry as well.
He sounds pretty damn stacked, man.
Yeah.
For you as a creator, how did you go about the process of picking the powers and weapons? How did you gauge yourself for cut off and add on?
Definitely. So it's so I wrote I guess I should be honest about this. I wrote the powers as I grew up a preacher's kid. My father's a Baptist preacher.
Okay.
And grew up in the church, and growing up, I read all the stories about Moses and David and Samson, and I always thought to myself, like, wow, these guys, like, they were real life superheroes. And I was like, and this kind of goes back to Kyle, the former co-writer. When we were talking about stuff, I kept saying, like, I want to take, like, my background or parts of my life and infuse them with this character. And growing up, I would read these stories about Samson, and he would kill 1,000 men with his bare hands. And I was like, well, what if somebody put that into a superhero that lived like in our time period and could do those things? What if we had somebody that could, take on 1,000 men, or jump really high, run really fast? Like, how would that work? And so when I was writing the book and writing the character, I was really tapping into my Baptist background, growing up a PK kid. And I was like, I want to make a hero that's relevant, that looks good, that's stacked, that has like believable villains, and that can really just like hold his own. Like, he's not a Superman. He's not impervious to like bullets and stuff. But I mean, he's got body armor. He's got guns. He's got super strength, speed. He can do dimensional travel. So he astral projects, so his spirit leaves his body, and he can do a lot of cool stuff. Like, he can fight in the spiritual realm. And so I wanted somebody that could do those things. And I really just, the short of it is, I just tapped into my upbringing, and it helped me to really write the character, refine the character, and to give him the powers that he has.
Okay. So what is his favorite food and favorite movie?
His favorite food would be oxtails.
All right.
And his favorite movie would be Shawshank Redemption.
Cool. I like that. I like that it did not take you long to respond. That's normally my question that stumps creators.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's like he's a real person, because his home base is Memphis, Tennessee. His church is in the Pinch District, which is a real place. Memphis is known for its Southern cooking and barbecue, and so he's a real person in my book.
What's up, Richard? So is this going to be an ongoing series or a limited series?
This is going to be an ongoing series. So I have written through issue 8, excuse me. And basically everything is written. I try to write as much as I can. It's just been what's the delay has been because we've been paying a lot of the cost out of pocket to have them drawn and lettered. And so with crowdfunding, we're hoping to offset some of those costs. And so hopefully moving forward, we'll be able to publish issues a lot quicker. But it's an ongoing series. In the last issue, I introduced some new characters, and those characters are going to have a spin-off story of their own. And so I'm essentially trying to create a universe from this character here.
Okay. What can we expect from these other characters? Is that spoiler?
Yeah. So there's been the introduction of some new bad guys. The hero's main villain, his arch nemesis, is the Wolf, and this guy is he's like an occultist, and I don't want to give too much of the story away, but he's like an occultist, and so he basically starts out as a human, but just through some things, he basically essentially mutates into like a living, breathing wolf. But he doesn't start out that way. And so that's the character's arch nemesis. And then there's Pharaoh and Moloch, and there's a couple other ones. But the two new characters that I introduced in issue 1, the Sons of Thunder, are basically like they're like a buddy duo. So I would kind of describe them as like heroes for hire, except they're not taking money or essentially being hired. But if I had to compare them, they'd be like heroes for hire.
Okay.
And so they'll be in this next issue with the Watcher, and then in issue 3, they're going to branch out and they'll have their own series. So it'll be the Sons of Thunder comic book series run concurrently with the Watcher series.
You have a link where people can buy these books yet?
Yes, sir. So my website is watchercomicseries.com. And if you head over to there, you can buy all the comics. I also have shirts for sale, hats, keychains, like all sorts of stuff for sale. And then if you wanted to buy the comic electronically, you can buy those on the site as well. You can buy it print or electronically, but the comic's also available on Comixology and Kindle, Amazon Kindle.
You said the website is watchercomicseries.com?
Yes. Uh-huh.
There we go. All right, we got the link in the comments for you guys to go over there and order this book and check it out. So this is pretty cool because the book is already out. So we're not waiting for a Kickstarter or anything like that. You guys can go get that book right now.
I forgot to. There's a Z in front of the Watcher, so it's the Watcher comic series.
Oh, like THE or
Yeah.
THEE?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my AC was blowing real hard. I probably.
No, you're fine.
Yep.
There we go. Brad says the Watcher is a pretty intriguing character. I enjoy the idea of a preacher that not only prays with us but fights for us too. Yeah, I'm digging the idea of it very much so. And I love
really
that song. And I love that you have such a grounded villain or, thing that's happening that, really affects people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know he's fighting a werewolf, but the stakes of what he's fighting for, the people and what's happening, with the trafficking and stuff, that's something that people can, that people are experiencing, that people have gone through, that is really affecting a lot of what we do in the world.
Absolutely. And the thing is the Watcher he's a lot like he's got some characters that are just like like werewolves and stuff like that, but he's got some characters that are like that are like corrupt politicians, corrupt preachers. So he's very grounded, even with the fantasy type stuff. He still has like he's just very grounded. Like racial disparity is addressed in the series because his church is in the Pinch district, which is a real section of Memphis that's very impoverished, and there's a lot of housing projects and stuff like that. And in real life, sometimes the police don't even respond to crimes over there because they're just so used to it. And so the book talks about that, and it's really grounded and gritty. But even though it has a religious overtone.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's dope.
Thank you.
Trying to get it in with your man's gear. Because not only it's,
I like it.
your man is pretty swag-tastic with this outfit. All right, I mean, I see the swag all over him. I like
it. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, like the early sketches, like he looked a lot like a Frank Castle or something like that, and I was like, I didn't want to go down that route. And then some of the other early sketches had him as like I don't know if you know who Whistler is from the Blade series. Blade.
Yeah, I know Whistler.
They had looking like Whistler at one point, and then at another point he looked like Microchip, who works with the Punisher. And I was like, I didn't want any of that, and I didn't want him to be like this crazy ex-con. Like I wanted him to have like a believable occupation, a believable story, and just really grounded. I wanted the series to tackle social issues, and I think it does a good job of it. So it took a while. It took many years, but I'm just grateful.
Yeah, man. Things can take as long as they need to get to where you need it to be. I know it felt like forever or whatnot, but I think you have something really solid here.
Thank you.
And it shows the effort and time that you put into it. I really dig the chest emblem. What's the story on that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. So the chest emblem is the Lion of Judah, which also comes from Scripture, and he's depending on like what your faith is, because like Ethiopians and Rastafarians they have like their own idea of the line of Judah, but biblically speaking, he was like, in layman's terms, he was like the mascot of the tribe of Israel that David came from, King David, Yeshua, who's also known as Jesus. And the symbol is attributed with power, because a lion is strong and powerful and leads. And it's also a symbol for battle. And so when they say in the Bible, when they say Lion of Judah, they mean defender, somebody that's going to defend and fight for them. And in the story, the Watcher issue 0, we learn about a missing girl named Lonnie Kizzy, who goes missing, and she's a parishioner of the Watcher's church. And in the story, he's so grief-stricken because he feels like this is almost like his daughter, and he feels like he goes to the police, they don't do anything, and he feels personally responsible, like he's this girl's father. And so I was thinking, like a father figure is somebody that's protective, that'll fight, that'll go to hell and back for his kids. And so I wanted a symbol that would capture a person that's a protector, but that also showed the ferociousness and almost like the killer instinct that's in the character, the lengths that he'll go through to protect the people he loves. And I was like, it's got to be a lion. I was kicking the ball around about different symbols and stuff, and when I went back to the scriptures, I kept coming across like Lion of Judah, and I was like, this is iconic. This is like the bat symbol. This is like when people see it, they know it's the Watcher. And
yeah.
It really lines up with it, and it ties in with the story because, in addition to the religious aspect, it ties in because it's on all of his body armor. And if you're like it's kind of an ode to the Punisher, because like I read the Punisher a lot growing up, and in the Punisher, he puts the skull on his chest to take the direct fire. The most hits go to his chest, to his big skull. Well, it's the same concept with the Lion of Judah. His chest armor will absorb most of the like stray bullets and whatnot. But also when he's being his powers, I call it pneuma, which is pneuma is a word for breath of God.
Okay.
His pneuma when he's charged. The best way I can describe it is if you watch like Black Lightning, his daughter Thunder, she inhales, exhales when she's about to use her super strength. The similar thing happens with the Watcher. His body is covered in flames. He becomes inflamed, similar to like Ghost Rider, and he's powered up. And when he powers up, his skills take over. So his super speed, his healing, his reflexes, all of it just comes to the forefront, and he's able to use it to get himself out of some really, really tough situations. And so he lights up, and then of course the chest piece lights up as well.
Huh? So I mean we've discussed a lot, but have we actually said how he gets this power?
Yeah. So going back to issue 0, so his real name is Gideon Samuels, and he wasn't always a pastor. So his background is like really, really gritty. He was the irony of this story is that he was a sex addict. He was
wow.
living the fast life. You know, always kept women around, fast cars, money. Worked in the corporate sector, and he sort of hits rock bottom. And in desperation, he cries out for help, and God actually shows up and helps him. Well, the catch is, because, you know, like, everybody's got a catch, and, you know, like, for fans of Spawn and these other characters, you know, there's always a catch. So the catch is that he gets Gideon out of trouble, but in return, Gideon has to serve him. And so I basically described the powers that he gets from God as he's not like Spawn, because he's not like, it's not dark. It's not like he sold his soul. Well, he did. He sold his soul to God instead of the devil. He sold his soul to God instead of the devil. And so basically there are parts of the story where Gideon is in full control, and then there's other parts of the story where the Spirit of God is like puppeteering Gideon, and he's just doing these like crazy off the wall feats. And so that's how he gets the powers. He hits rock bottom. God's like, you know, you need to do X, Y, Z. This is, you know, the conditions. And so a little time into him basically being recruited by God, he builds his church, and, you know, things are going well. He's in the community, and then all of a sudden, children from his church start going to sing. And this is boys and girls. And when Lonnie goes missing, he tries to contact the police, various news stations, and nobody does anything. They just, you know, it's just another missing black girl. It's just a group of black kids that are missing. And at this point in the story, Gideon is mad with God, and he's like, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You told, you know, how could you let this happen? And so basically, as a result of him bucking against God, or bucking his chest, as we say, God's like, here, I'm going to give you the power. Show me what you can do. And so in a fiery flurry, he's just like, he's sitting at a pew in his church one day, and this ball of fire comes down and engulfs him, and he recovers. When he gets back up, he's got like all these amazing abilities, and some of the abilities he knows like right away that he has, because like he can feel it. It's almost like it was a download. But some of the abilities he doesn't find out until later. Like he doesn't know. He knows that he caught on fire, but he doesn't know that he essentially has pyrokinesis. And then he also has limited teleportation abilities, and that comes out much later. That comes when he fights the wolf for the very first time. And so some of his abilities he's still learning, but a vast part of them he finds out right away after the encounter.
This is sounding really freaking fresh, man.
I know.
I'm just sitting here listening to it like, man, this is sounding like something that's really dope. I mean, I'm liking the choices. I'm really digging how grounded it is, and how we turn this character around to, you know, from a sex addict to a preacher, and that he's, like Brad said, not only is he a preacher, you know, praying with us, but he's out here fighting with us. I'm really, really digging all of that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just didn't want him. Like, I know which comic book characters I like, and I wanted him to be relatable in that aspect in terms of like powers and stuff. But like, I didn't want his story. Like, I didn't want him to be like an ex-con, you know, or drug dealer or something like that. That like, you know, because you know, like when you're creating characters, sometimes non-black writers will characters these stereotypes, you know, and I didn't want that. I really wanted him to be original yet grounded. And I just started thinking, you know, I was like, you know, my father's a preacher, you know, because like for a while, like, you know, I was like, well, at one point I thought he was going to be a news reporter. I didn't want to go down that path. And I really just tried to like bring it home, you know?
Yeah.
I like this sketch, man.
Thank you.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, the dude has a solid look, man. Like I said, his backstory is really, really dope.
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely something I can see on, you know, on an Amazon, on an HBO Max, on a Netflix.
I'm praying. I'm praying for the day I can quit my day job and do this, you know. Thank you, because this is, you know, like how sometimes like you can see something, you can see a vision, but like it's like other people don't always see it right away.
Yeah,
it's cool that you're saying this, because like I've had like some family members that I thought would get behind the project, but they haven't. And it's been discouraging. It gets discouraging at times, you know. But to hear you say that, man, that really made my day. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, man. I just feel like this is the kind of stuff that they look for. This is the type of stuff that makes for good TV. A redemption character that goes through their own troubles and tribulations, has their own addiction that they overcome, and they're on the other side. You got this great power source that comes into them, religious content in there for our spiritual people. But then, how far does he go? He is a preacher. Is he gonna be pushed to take lives? I mean, this is the same man that we're confessing to. This is the same man that's reading from the scripture for us every Sunday.
That's right.
But how much does he beat people up? Like, does he ever snap? I mean, he gets angry with God. Like, these are all things that like a regular person can experience and go through. Like,
yes, sir.
Even without the superpowers, replace him with the cop. Replace him with a cop who's very much into the Lord and a very spiritual person. But they're out here trying to do their job, saving lives and stuff. And you know, one day after another day of just like repeated violence against people, and you know, you're watching children get hurt, you're watching innocent people get hurt, people getting killed, and you know, you find that one person that just pushes you over the limit, like, not again. But you're a cop, you're also a man of God. How far do you go? And you know, I can see this rooftop conversation where, you know, he's fed up, he's frustrated, and he's like, why did you give me this power to do what? There's all these other people out here. Because it also poses the question, if you have this ability to give me this great strength, why are there other people out here that this strength has to be used on? Man, let's go. Let's write the script. Let's get it going.
I'm ready.
J-Man, you're right.
And then too, not to give anything away, but you know, just because you walk with the Lord doesn't mean that temptation isn't still out there. So that's something that comes up too. Just how far are you from going back to the person that you once were?
Man, don't get me out here, man. You out here making a good book. Don't get me out here playing.
Yes, sir.
Brad knew what he was doing when he gave you the slot tonight.
Thank God for that, man.
He's good people for real.
Yes, sir.
And the dude's just fun to draw, man. Shit, it's just fun to draw right now.
Yeah, man, and I'll have to send you some of the sketches because like he's really evolved, and I thank God for Kanan White because when I went to Kanan, all I had was like what I knew I wanted and what I felt like he should look like, and then just a few sketches that Kyle had done, and I was like, he's a brother, he's like us. I was like, I just didn't want anything super cheesy, and I was like, can you make him serious? And Kanan just worked his magic, and we have today because Kanan.
Yeah. Is Kanan just the one that brought the character designs together, or is he also the artist on the book?
I bounced between 3 different artists. I don't have anybody permanent, but I'm hoping as the series gets more successful that I have Kanan on or write on like all the time. But basically,
Oh, we lost him. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, J-Man, you're right. This is the first is it? Yeah, I think this is the first biblical superhero that we've had on here. His speech was going in and out on the speaker. I kind of had the feeling we were about to lose him. I'm close to finishing this guy off though, so hopefully we get him back in here. Oh, well, there he is, kind of, ladies and gentlemen. Coat flying in the wind. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. I really like this line logo, man. Go ahead with that replay. Brad says spoilers is fine with him. Keep them coming. I know Brad loves a good spoiler now and again. J-Man. All right, well, I have completed that piece. I don't know if Walter's going to be able to get back in here or not. I think he's probably trying to. But like I said, this is a very awesome character. We got that website, thewatchercomicseries.com. is where you can go to order copies. So please go check that out and do that. Also, holler at my man Daniel Calvin for the American Dreams Kickstarter, which I put the link earlier in this chat. Also, check out Danny J Quick for the Ace Blade Villain Season Kickstarter. Let's help Daniel get to his goal of 5,500, I believe. Yeah, and let's help Danny J Quick get to 10,000 and shatter another stretch goal for that man right there. All support is good support. If you guys don't have any money, I understand that. If money's tight, you know, you're going to tied up in bills and things like that. Perfectly understandable. But could you give my fellas a share? Just grab their links, share it out to other people in your audience. For us, small creators or indie creators or whatnot, the biggest support that we can get outside of your Monday is word of mouth. Let other people know who we are. Let other people know that we're out here. The more people that know, the more people we reach, the better it grows. So I want to thank you all for tuning into this episode, Chat and Draw. Had a lot of fun here tonight. We will be back again tomorrow night where I have another guest coming on to the show. This is episode 161, and I am Mike Watson, the most enthusiastic person in comics, also the publisher of Freestyle Comics, and a part of the team I like to call Ages of Nerdy, but you can also know me as the acronym because I saw people who did not get this, but and there we go. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I did. It's another good one that we got in the books here. And good nights, everyone.
I think that I should ask Mr. Watson. I think that I should ask Mr. Watson. I think that I should ask Mr. Watson. I think that I should